In 2 moves, you can checkmate in 8 different ways. In 3 moves, that number goes up to 11,183 different checkmates. Within 4 moves, you can checkmate in 10,298,986. And ladies and gentlemen, within 5 moves, you can checkmate in billions upon billions of ways, a number so big that it has not been computed yet. So it is pretty safe to say that there are many chess games that end via checkmate very, very early on. However, as you might expect, these checkmates tend to happen in much lower rated games. And as we go closer to high-level titled players, there are very few and scarce amount of examples of quick checkmates. And by the time we reach Grandmaster level, there is just one example game that jumps out. This was a game between absolute giants. You're watching the ChessGeek channel, and let's take a look at the game. This happened in 2010, playing white was Dmitry Andreikin, and with the black pieces was the one and only Sergei Karjakin. And unbelievably, Sergei is the one who got checkmated. Now, just to put this into perspective, for those who may not be so aware, Sergei Karjakin is not any grandmaster. He is one of the best in the world. In fact, in 2016, he played against Magnus Carlsen at the World Chess Championship. So I'm excited to take a look at this game, and as we jump in, I do want to pose a question. What is the quickest checkmate that has ever occurred in one of your games? Make sure you comment this down below, and without any further ado, let's jump straight in. The game began with c4, the English opening. We had e5, knight to c3, and so far both players are developing their pieces. The game is taking a very natural course. However, after g6, we have the move d4, and the center begins to explode, and it explodes in such a way where black already has to be fairly careful. We have knight to d5, white sacrifices a pawn to gain initiative and frankly try to take control of the dark squares that have been weakened because of this move g6. You can imagine bishop g5 coming next, and there could already be some issues for black. Indeed, after bishop g7, bishop g5, and here it's already, as I mentioned, uncomfortable. Playing the move f6 is highly weakening and comes with great risk. You can play the move knight to e7. This is what was played in the game, but now this position continues to become tricky. This knight is pinned, this knight is tied down to the other knight's defense, and already black has major problems to solve. The game continued with knight takes d4, and in view of the continuing issues in this position, specifically the threat of knight takes c6 followed by knight or bishop takes on e7, black should have played here the move f6. Their point is to give away a pawn, but by doing so at least remedy somewhat the situation on the board. If knight takes, for example, then king f7, and although again white is better, the position does remain still complicated to a degree. However, if we go back, this was not played. Sergei Karjakin did not correctly identify the huge issues with the dark squares and actually played a move that highlighted them. He played bishop takes d4, getting rid of the immediate threats, but after the next move, queen takes d4, there are just infinitely more issues now in the position. Because this bishop is now gone, again, the dark squares are a huge problem and very troublesome for black in this position, and there are already many different ideas based off of that fact. For example, if you take the queen here, there was a nice idea, knight to f6 check, king moves, and bishop h6 is already checkmate. Now if we back up for a second, black didn't take, but now they have to solve this issue of the hanging rook. They decide to castle. This is a huge mistake. It actually leads directly to the downfall of black. There's actually a forced checkmating sequence now. I'd urge you to pause and try to find the move here that white can play that wins on the spot. The move is knight f6 check, continuing to take advantage of the dark squares. In the game, king to h8 was played, but now with the queen lined up, there is this nice move, knight to g4 check. Now again, the queen is hanging, but once again, it cannot be captured. And in very stunning fashion, after knight takes d4, there is another bishop and knight mate. Really nice geometry here. Bishop f6, knight h6. So you can see the dark square weakness with the two pieces here, the bishop and knight, is just really problematic for black. Now, in the game, they can also move, but it should be noted that this also allows checkmate. So in fact, Karjakin resigned here after knight to g4, but I still consider this getting checkmated. The game will end in checkmate in just a couple more moves. Really nice game. I think it illustrates that even the best, even the greats, do make mistakes, and hopefully you can find that a bit motivating and inspiring. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're new around here. Like this video if you enjoyed and learned something new from it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.